Connection available. Let's see.
Here we go. We'll see if we're live.
I should probably check.
Yep.
We're good.
We got
Good
the kitty
morning.
with us today.
I know. We're like, this is real life.
We do have a kitty in the house.
Who's not happy about our live this morning.
No, he wants to be in here, and well.
So there's that. Happy Friday. We're already getting tuned in. Oh, hi Tara. Good morning.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Kendra. So welcome Friday morning. How you feeling? TGIF? A little bit?
I'm excited for today. Pats won last night. What?
House divided.
Giants didn't.
Yeah, we're New Yorkers. We gotta stick with our team, but it was pretty brutal last night. So I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up, Misty. Now it's awkward.
Well, we win every week, so it's hard not to be. I'm just kidding.
Oh Lord.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I know you guys are probably super excited.
And I'm sitting here with
she
a
has
knife
a
the whole time. Like,
I'm like,
put this down.
So can you guys give us a minute while I talk to Misty?
Put the knife down.
Although
oh my.
We're not sitting prom style today, although we are in a tight space, as you can tell.
are.
We're in Misty's house because remember Misty moved a couple weeks ago?
And then Misty got a new bed.
And then Misty damaged her wall.
And Misty's old bed fell onto the wall and created holes. So
That's why.
What do you think I thought of? Oh, that would be a great live, Shannon.
We literally take our problems, which can be your problems too, right?
It's common problems.
And we figure out how to tell you guys how to solve these DIY hacks that we have. And last week we were at Tara's house and we talked about using
rope.
Can you please say the word?
Now that you said it wrong, I'm gonna. It's like
Sisal.
Cecil.
Oh my God, we are so ridiculous.
I had it right, and then you said it wrong,
guys,
and now I'm confused.
The moral of the story is I mess up everything. So whatever the word is of the rope, we taught you how to use it in your home in different ways.
So if you didn't watch last week, watch it because it definitely is a way to upgrade.
Your cat
I know the cat's gonna meow.
Let that cat in right now.
Let the cat in.
Come on, you can come in.
You need to
Fine,
come in, kitty.
we'll let you in. So as you saw in the title, we're talking about taking patches, what did I say? Fixing patches and taking names, because I really feel like this is one of those things, like, we're like, okay, fix the patch, but I swear, like, I feel like people I talk to are like,
stressed about it.
oh my God, what am I gonna do? I made a dent in my wall, or like, oh my God, how am I gonna fix that? It's really not that big of a deal.
It's not that big of a deal, and it really happens a lot, especially if doors slam up against and you don't have one of those little catchers.
Or you have children.
Yep. I mean, it just happens. Like,
my kid hits my wall with his hoverboard like weekly on the corner, and I'm like, at this point, I think I've patched it 40 times, but these things happen in your home. I mean, furniture moves and nails come out. And we have to talk about our college one later. When we talk about the nails.
Oh, yes.
Because I know you guys have done this. We're going to talk about something really funny. Like,
yes, I love it.
So let's talk about your hole in your wall.
Jesus, here we go.
Sounds really good. Here's Misty's hole in her wall.
Here's my hole in the wall. You may have to come a little closer.
I'm gonna move this closer because I don't know if I can go down.
What do you think? Just get a good peek. That's all they need to see is it's a good hole in the wall. So it didn't look this pretty. It wasn't that way. It was just like a serious hole in the wall.
Which usually kind of makes like a round hole.
It does. It's usually round. It's never even. So tip 1 is you need to cut out around the round hole or whatever the uneven and cut an even rectangle or square out. That is tip 1. So, and I did that with I'm gonna let you look at it.
Whoa, y'all.
This is a sheetrock knife, and it literally, you just go in, you kind of have to go in. Sometimes you have to take a little bump here. I've got some pictures of this, so we will post those pictures as well. And you literally saw. It's a sheetrock saw, and that's all you do, and you get a nice little even square. So then,
pay attention, you guys. This part is awesome.
This is awesome. So first, if you didn't know how to buy sheetrock, I'll show them this. So sheetrock obviously comes huge, but it also comes in this 24 by 24 inch block. So, and it's $5. So keep one of these on hand all the time in your garage because you can use it. I mean, you can see we take off pieces all the time.
And if you guys are interested, this is being sold for $4.25 because we're missing that much of it.
No, I keep it because
it's
inevitable that I'm going to make another hole.
We're definitely going to make
you just made one now.
We're going to catch that one while you're doing that one.
So once you have your hole here, you're going to measure this, and I like to just make my life a little easier. This is a 3 by 4 square. That's what I have. So on my sheetrock, what I want to do is measure a larger
1
square.
inch.
So
1 inch longer.
1 inch to 2. So I ended up doing, it was a 5 by 6. So I made a 5 by 6 square. So almost like a picture, 5 by 6. So I made that. Obviously, that's not going to fit. It's too big. But what you do on the other side is I'm going to measure my 3 by 4.
Using a ruler, but we're going to use this.
3 by 4 square. And I'm going to take my knife. X-Acto knife, or this is more like a blade. And you're going to have to score it several times until you get low. You don't want to go through this part. So score, score, score. I was actually on the wrong side when I did that. Score, score, score. And then once it's scored, you're going to break it just like this. So break, break, break. Does that make sense? You're going to break, and then you're going to tear these pieces off.
Being careful.
And what it looks like in the end is this. So you have your 3 by 4 square. It's going to fit my hole exactly. On the other side, I have my sheetrock pieces, right? Okay, so how does this work? What is going to happen here? This actually fits into the hole.
A little closer.
This fits into the hole perfectly, right? Make sure I don't have anything sticking out. So that fits in the hole perfectly. Oh, and now what do we do? So instead of having to buy tape, like that's your typical, and the thing about the tape is it leaves seams sometimes. You can always see where you patched a hole. When we do this, we don't have to do the tape and we won't see seams. So then you just get your handy drywall spec right here.
This is my favorite part.
I know.
I feel like it's therapeutic. Can I?
It is, yeah, here, go for it.
I love this. And actually, well, I'm even not that good at it, but it's my favorite thing to do. I feel like it's, what's that word? Like, you see instant gratification, and then you start acting like you're an artist, and yeah.
So you do several layers of this. And what we'll do is take a picture at the end if you do.
That was our cat, you guys.
Cat again.
This thing is crazy.
He is a little crazy.
Stop during our lives.
So you're going to go around and you're going to spackle this whole thing. I like this one because it dries white. When it's wet, it's pink, so I know I can't do anything. Once it's complete and it's dry, I'm going to sand it. Just sand it down so it's even. You won't see any seams. And then I can paint and it's going to look brand new. So when this dries, we'll paint that and we'll take a picture for the finished product. Now I will say, this is just another quick little tip. You can see that we have a couple little dents in the wall right here. If you can see that, it's just some random little dents. Well, I'm not going to cut that out. That's a lot of work. For anything that's just a dent in your wall, you can simply just spackle, let it dry and sand down, and you won't see the dent any longer. It really made a mess out of my bed falling on my wall, haven't I? So that sands down and you paint right over that too, and it's smooth like a baby, and you just won't see that I don't have any problems here at all. So we'll finish this off and take pictures of you for this.
And we're going to talk kind of like about
this is another, there's a couple other options.
So if you guys have big holes in your wall, obviously there's other ways to do this. The one we showed you was kind of, what do they call it? Like, I don't even, there's a name for it, but whatever.
There's other options for holes in the wall. We talked about the tape. There's this
netting.
Little netting. You can see that. You can absolutely put that on the hole as well.
You don't need to cut the
square. But you put that on, but you do have to use the tape and then go through it that way. So it's two things that you have to buy when you use this. I never feel like it really, I feel like I always see it when I use this. It's just me, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I feel like I see it. I think this is really going to be a great solution. There is also, and actually a friend told me about this, there is a new, I couldn't find it yesterday at Lowe's, I did look for it, but there is a fill. It's a spray fill.
Oh, like a foam that like
it's a foam that expands, but it's a sheetrock foam that you can sand down. It's not like those hard foams. So I couldn't find it yet. We're gonna look it up, and if we can find it, we'll tag you in it. But that sounded really fun and easy as well. So I like anything that's easy and quick, and I can do this. This is literally taking me about 30 minutes total once I finish doing this. So no time at all. Quick little paint on top. Done.
You know what's
That's
cool
my
too?
tricks.
I know you kind of said that, but this is the same material as the material here. So when you're fixing walls, like you were saying, you had one that you can tell, right? So if you're using a foreign material on top, I'll go over here, sorry. If you're using a foreign material on top of the drywall material, there's always going to be a difference, right? Like, so if you paint it, you're still going to see that where it starts and where it stops of the other product you use. So that's kind of why I love this tip, because it's sheetrock against sheetrock. It's not like a foreign thing we're announcing in there. So we have a couple other things we saw at the store. I wish that I could have found them again, but just little tiny holes. Like, so I know we're talking about like a big hole, but sometimes
like hammer
you
or a
might-
screw, like when we
Right.
move and you have a screw hole.
or you, like, yeah, if something was hanging there, you take it down, you're left with a hole. So I used to think, okay, the hole is there, and I pulled the screw out and it kind of pulled the drywall out, so I would sand it and think like that was good enough and then fill it or whatever, or paint it. So I was kind of looking through some ideas of the times that I've done it and looking through the wall and seeing what I had done differently. And I didn't know this, but if you paint the drywall, like internally part of it, it bubbles because it's wet, I guess. So you'll always
Because
see that
sheetrock,
hole.
when it gets wet,
It's like bubbly, right? So I was like, oh, okay. So then this other tip I saw was if you pull a screw out and it takes the drywall out. So like, you know, the screw gets pulled out and some of that rock comes out and it's kind of like not solid. You actually take the back of a hammer or something and bang it back into the wall. So you're left with like a dent, which was kind of what Misty had filled in here. If you have that dent, that's easier to spackle like you just did, as opposed to trying to like figure out how you're gonna like cover this little hole and sand it down, and you'll always see that hole unless you push it back in and get the spackle to be your cover. Does that make sense?
It does.
Hopefully it does.
but you have to tell them your college trick. I have never heard of this,
Oh,
but a lot of people have.
someone better be on my team here.
I was this person. I would just get my little
No.
spackle and
No. And it's funny because I was an RA and we used to like, we were scared to death because they would come into your dorm room at the end of the year and they'd be like, all right, we're going to check and make sure all your holes are filled and there's no damage. And of course we hung up our Dawson's Creek signs, all these things on our wall.
taping yourself.
I am Dawson's Creek, guys. So we would have like all these little holes. So we would take toothpaste, like the white toothpaste, not blue. We would take the white
Can't be the
toothpaste
minty.
and literally just fill in the hole and walk away. And no one ever knew.
That was fun.
So for those of you that are trying to pull the wool
That's
over
hard.
someone's eyes and not worrying because you don't live there or it's a college dorm, if anyone's watching in college, you could look. April, did you do it, April?
Yeah. Little bit of toothpaste right
Like
there.
who
knew?
in college would be
Who
like,
knew?
I'm gonna go grab spackle. Maybe you, but like I was like, nope.
I have a little tube my grandparents gave me and said, use this when you have holes. So,
Oh.
you know.
And they do make a travel one now. Toothpaste. Okay, good. Apartments too. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm awesome. I'm not the only one.
You're not.
I was
You're
so
not.
worried because I always get beat out
No.
by the like crazy
No.
things I've done. And then they have this other tool they came up with that was the tube of toothpaste looking, but it's actually spackle. And then attached to it was
A speckle
the
brush.
spackle. The
Like this. It's
So it
on
was
there,
attached.
So literally, you squeeze and push all at the same time.
so it's like a travel size for those of you that
I
are
love that.
traveling and
I
filling
love
holes.
that.
Okay, we're just fixing lives.
We're saving lives
What
right
would
now.
you guys do if you didn't have these tips to
I
fix your
know.
homes?
I mean, we're pretty good at our tips, I'm just saying.
And it smells fresh. She says and it smells fresh. Yeah, the walls always have that.
Minty fresh
Eucalyptus.
feeling.
It's just like fresh.
I love it.
Fresh
I
smell.
love it. So that's our trick for the this Friday.
Anyone else have
Hopefully
any?
that helps you guys. I don't know what next Friday's gonna be.
we don't either. But if we ruin any walls in the process of like now, whatever we
know how to
ruin in our lives between now and next Friday, you guys
We'll let you know. We'll let
Look
you know.
at
If you have some suggestions or things that you need to fix, then let us know and we'll see if we can come up with
I'm
ways to
really
fix it.
hoping to do a brick wall facade, like the, you know, like I don't know. But anyway,
I'm in for that.
we'll do anything twice. Just depends on the
Maybe 3
outcome.
times. I usually give it 3 times.
So hopefully you guys learned something. Comment below if you guys have done anything like this or have your own tips of your own, of course. As always, tune in Fridays at 10 a.m. Also, if you guys are not a part of the DIY crew, oh my God, go check out the post from 2 days ago.
There's a couple of great
Y'all-
posts this week of great ideas, like amazing ideas.
I cannot get over the
I wonder
post.
if I could do that here.
Yes.
Can I do that here?
Yes.
Okay, I won't tell you. I won't tell you. You got to go to the
You guys
crew.
go to the crew, ask to be a member, invite, we'll let you in, and you're gonna die when you see it. So be a part of the Nailed It DIY crew, of
Absolutely.
course. We have the blog also walk you through step by step. And of course, if you are near any of our Nailed It studios, 8 states now across the country, be sure to like their pages and get in there and get your holiday stuff planned now because a lot of those studios
parties
are
are
sold out.
booking. So
So-
get your parties booked, get your Christmas gifts done, all at Nailed It, made by you, looking amazing. So,
yes. And remember, you guys, like, this is the time. There's studios that are like, we're booked through December.
Yes.
So call your local studio.
I love it. I love it. So until next time.
Good job.
I don't have a quote for you this week.
Oh,
I didn't think of a quote this week.
We could come up with a good one, but it's kind of like the idea, like you can patch holes in a wall. We'll come up with a good one.
We'll come up with a good one.
We got this, you guys. Don't worry. So, did you do it? No, we didn't do it yet, April, but we're going to. I know what you're talking about. So go to the crew page if you don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, no, we haven't done it yet. But I'm thinking I should
like
do
right
it
now?
I think I should do it right here.
I love it. We're going to have to get off and go rip some houses up. So we'll see you guys later.
Okay.
All right, tune in. See you guys later.